Okay, guys, we're on bubble method day 2. Factor polynomials with leading coefficients greater than 1, just like yesterday. A positive constant, and now we're going to have that middle term be negative. Okay, identify the sum. So remember that middle coefficient, that's what that one is, and the signs that you'll need. List all factor pairs of the leading coefficient. List all factor pairs of the constant. Check bubbles to see if you have the correct combination. Write your answer as 2 binomials. These are the same steps as yesterday. Okay, next one up. Okay, so here we want to have a sum of, and now notice that it's a -8. That negative sign goes with it. Signs needed. Remember, this tells me same sign. This tells me that they're both going to be negative. So negative, negative. Because remember, to get a positive answer multiplied, but to get something negative added, it has to be 2 negative numbers. Because the only way to get a positive number is positive, positive, or negative, negative. And 2 positive numbers will never add to a negative number. Okay, so factors of 3. So 3 and 1. Or we have factors of 4. So factors of 4 are going to be 1 and 4. Or 2 and 2. Since this is going to be a little bit different, since this is going to be negative with these, we're going to make these signs on the second group both negative. Okay. So yesterday we did kind of a brute force, keep trying all the options, guess which one's going to work the best, try them. So more of a guess and check. Today we're going to still do kind of that, but we can make some better decisions. So just because I know that I'm going to have less options with this one, the 2 and 2, because of the same numbers, I'm going to try that one first. So I'm going to do -2, -2, because no matter which way I do it, it's going to be multiplying the same numbers. 3 times -2, which is -6. 1 times -2, which is -2. We add those together. So remember, you can either put this into your calculator or you can think of it as money. You owe me $6, and then you wanted to do something else for $2. I loaned you $2 more. How much do you owe me? Well, you'd owe me $8, which is coincidentally the number we need. So we can write these out again. Remember, this first parenthesis group is what comes in front. So we have 3x and 1x. We see here that they're both minus. And then this one you can put, it's just going to be -2 on both of them. So -2, -2. And you see that that's going to be the way it is because the -2's are the same. But you can double check that 3 is connected to the -2. Well, 3 is connected to the -2. -2 is connected to the 1. -2 is connected to the 1. Okay, first problem down. Okay, our next one up is our sum needed is going to be -18. This tells me same sign. This tells me they're both going to be negative. Okay, so that means negative, negative. So we have 1 and 5 for our factors of 5. Our factors of 9 are going to be 1 and 9, 3 and 3. Because they're both negative, it means we put the negative signs with these. Okay, we can try them out. Again, I'm going to be kind of lazy. I'd rather just rule out that 3 and 3 first. So -3, -3. So 1 times -3 is -3. 5 times -3 is -15. We add those up together, we get -18. So we see that that actually was convenient. We put the x, the first term, in our first spot of our binomial, so 1x and 5x, and then we write down the -3's. So you see 1 times -3, 1 times -3, 5 times -3, 5 times -3. They match. We have finished another problem. Okay, so the sum needed here, remember that's that middle term still, so that's that -16. Okay, so our first bubbles, oh, and we want to talk about our signs. So this plus tells us same sign. This tells us they're both negative. So negative, negative. So factors of 3 are going to be 1 and 3. Only way to multiply to get that. Factors of 20 are going to be 1 and 20, 2 and 10. 3 doesn't do it, but 4 does. 4 and 5. Remember that since they're negative, all of these get negatives with them. I know I prematurely circled them, so let's put those negatives in. And then now we get to do that testing these out. We can try to make a decision that will help us get there quicker. The first one here with the 1 and 20, if we multiply anything times negative 20 times 1, it gives us a negative 20. That's going to be too big. Negative 20 times 3 would give us negative 60. So I know that one's not going to work. I'm not going to even try it. But I can try the next one out. So I'm going to write it over here. Negative 2, negative 10. So we have 1 times negative 2, negative 2. We have 3 times negative 10. That gives me negative 30. We add those together, it's negative 32. That's too big. That's not going to work. So let's try the crisscross one. See if that one works. 1 times 10 times negative 10, negative 10. 2 times 3, so 3 times negative 2 gives me negative 6. We add those together, that does give me 16. So we actually got to this one pretty quickly. I don't need to test the next one out. So remember, we'll write out those binomials with those 2 sets of parentheses. The first set of bubble here is going to be our first part of our parentheses, so 1x and 3x. Both of them are minus signs, and then we substitute in what we know. Well, the 1 goes with the 10, so they can't be in the same parentheses, so that means the 10 has to go over here. The 3 goes with the 2, that means they can't be in the same parentheses, that means the 2 goes over here. We can double check it with that smile method. 1 times 10, 1 times 10, 2 times 3, 2 times 3, and we see that that does hold true. Let's do one more example just for extra practice. Let me know if you guys have questions. Okay. Since this is our last example, this is probably a good time for me to let you know our key word. Our key word for today, let's put beets. Like B-E-E-T-S. Beets. Okay. So the sum needed is going to be that middle term, so it's negative 20. This tells us same sign. This tells us both going to be negative. Okay, so factors of 7, 1 and 7. Factors of 12, 1 and 12. 2 and 6. 3 and 4. Remember, since they're both going to be negative, we can put negatives on all of these and we can test them out. So let's get going on that. So I'm going to try negative 1 and negative 12 first. Again, you could begin with any of these. This is just the one I chose to go first. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. 7 times negative 12 is going to be a really big number. So we know that one's not going to work. So let's try the crisscross method of this one. 1 times negative 12, negative 12. 7 times negative 1. Because negative 7, that's pretty darn close. We got to negative 19, but that's still not what we're looking for. So no, that one's not going to be our option. We're going to move on to our next one. Let's see what we can do here. Negative 2 and negative 6. Negative 1, or 1 times negative 2. 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. 7 times negative 6. Negative 42. Too big, it's not negative 20. So let's try the crisscross. 1 times negative 6 is negative 6. 7 times negative 2 is negative 14. We add those together, and we do get negative 20. Yay, we did it. Okay, so we're going to go over here. We're going to create our 2 binomials that are going to be multiplied together. Our first parenthesis is going to be the ones that are our first bubble for that 7. So we have 1x and 7x. We know that both the signs are negative based on right here. Okay, and then our last part, remember that we have to match these up so that the ones that are touching aren't in the same parentheses. So the 1 and the negative 6 can't be together, so that means the 6 has to go over here. The 7 and the negative 2 can't go together, so that means the 2 has to go over here. We can verify that again with using that smiley face. So the big smile is the 1 and the negative 6. Well, we see that those are connected by this line. The second, the nose, is from 2, negative 2 and 7. Negative 2 and 7 connect right here. So we know that this is, in fact, our answer. Okay, guys, let me know if you have any questions. Be safe.